Hello, welcome to this walkthrough overview of the Val and Vine Wedding Seating Planner app. The Seating Planner app has been designed specifically if you've already started planning your wedding. Maybe you already have a separate spreadsheet or you're using another product and you've got to the task where you need to create your seating plan but are struggling to do so. This is where the Seating Planner app can help. If you haven't started planning your wedding yet, then I recommend the Val and Vine Full Wedding Planner. It contains a seating planner and the menu options, as well as a host of other tools that are going to help you plan your perfect day. So to start with a walkthrough of the wedding seating planner, we start with the top where you can see the couple's names are entered, the date and the venue. To the side we have our options menus with the guest list, the menu options, the seating plan, the diet list, the print pack and the palette for choosing our different colour schemes. We have the guests on the lists, the confirmed RSVPs, the number of seated places and any dietary flags. This part here, the backup and reset, we recommend that you create regular backups every time you exit the app. The app is stored locally on your browser for your privacy, but if you do clear your cookies or refresh your browser data, you can lose the information from the app. So by regularly creating a backup and also saving it in a safe place, say a Google Drive or a OneDrive file, keeps your data available whenever you need it. Also, if you wish to open the application on a different computer, you can import your data over and start exactly where you left off. The reset button is if you wish to clear everything. Just to ensure it's not pressed by mistake, you do have to type reset before clearing reset all data. So starting with our work through, the whole app is driven off of the guest list. The guest list is the source of truth and where all information cross-populates for the Seating Planner app. As you can see, we have the field on the left where you can enter your guest details to quickly add guests on the fly. If you do already have a guest list, then we provide a CSV template which you can download and then import your data across to our pre-formatted CSV template to upload into the seating planner and have everyone populated. One time saving tip, you can give the CSV template and your data template to an AI of your choice, say ChatGPT or Claude, and ask it to cross the data over for you to the CSV template. It saves a lot of time and is very accurate when we have tried it. You can also export your guests and you can hide the form on the left if you no longer need that. So coming down to the guests, you see the guest name, the contact details, whether they're confirmed, which side they're from, the grouping, their families, their meals confirmed, and their table number, and if they have dietary requirements. We also have a series of filters where we can filter by confirmed, waiting, vegan, vegetarian, bride side, or missing menu choices. This one is especially helpful if you're trying to go through the list to make sure everyone has been accounted for. To show you an example, if I come down to this guest and I remove their meal choices and close, and then when I search by meal choice missing, this one guest is still showing. Simple as coming in, selecting the starter, selecting their main course and selecting their dessert. And of course, once they're done, it then goes back to the full view. And you're available under each of the courses. If you need to make any notes, there is a note field provided, as well as the dietary requirements and the allergy severity, plus additional notes you can make. Once the guests are populated on the guest list and they're there for your tracking, you can then move on to the seating plan. Now the seating plan is a drag and drop canvas. We have several views available. This is the standard view, as we call it, with the top table and additional guest tables. And then we also have the horseshoe banquet layout. As an example, this is set in the square format and you can come through so we can have a U-shaped joined top table, as we can see here. Now the tables can be dragged to resize. The tables can be moved and it's possible to zoom in and out on the screen and pan and drag the canvas around. If you wish to change any of the details, you have the ability to recenter, reset the banquets, or reset individual chairs. So you're able in this application to actually move a chair to a different location. If you decide you don't like that, you can reset the chairs and they go back. And you can clear seats if you wish to remove all guests and start again. There is a tablet mode which you can select and then you can pick what you would like to do, but it works better with a mouse and on a desktop and laptop, so we won't be covering that too much in this overview. Going to the standard table layout, we're given the following options where we can have the top table layout, I'll select top table, the top table shape, rectangle, the number of guests at the top table, the guest table style, number of guests per table, the total guest tables, and how many rows in the guest tables and the guest table per row. You're able to exclude evening guests when you're adding, so you don't have to sort through, and you can print table labels or print dietary fields. We also have a function here where you can name the tables. Sorry, I need to generate. Because I've selected the details here, I need to regenerate the layout. So I regenerate the layout and we have our top table and our guest tables all set ready. As mentioned, you're able to name the tables. So if we see here, we have table 1. So you may wish to say this is the bride's family. Table 2 is the groom's family, etc. So you're free to add tags and labels to help you whilst you're doing your seating planning. You do in the print option have the option to remove these labels, so you can have a print version for yourself with the labels and a guest facing or venue facing list without the labels on. Again, like before, we have the guest list to the side. We're able to search for different guests or different tags, and we have our canvas. For working, we're able to open into the full screen mode. Sorry, before I move on to that, there's also the option as well to change the size of the guest tables. So we try to make it as flexible as possible for you to be able to plan the perfect seating. If we move into full screen canvas, we have our floating guest list that we are now able to position while we're working. If we can hide this with collapse, or we can show again. Now for placing a guest, it's as simple as coming to the menu and taking the person and dropping them into the seat where you would like them allocated. Any guest with a dietary requirement is highlighted in this green and dietary shows on the table. If we have somebody with a severe allergy marked with red, it overrides the dietary, although they're still shown highlighted here, and it puts the allergy marker on the table. If you decide that you wish to place a guest on a different table, you can either clear the guest so they reset, or you can simply take the guest and drag them to another seat. If you wish to reposition the seats, you can press Ctrl and click and actually position so you're free to customize the seating out exactly how you would like it. We can collapse the guest view again. We still have the ability to zoom and pan and move our canvas around. And then we come to the top table where we have the ability to change the size. And again, just with the guest tables, you're able to just bring your guests over and drop them where you would like them. So I select reset chairs to put the chairs back where I had them, and I exit full screen mode. So that is the overview of the seating planner. It's very intuitive, very easy to use once you start, and it keeps a constant track of your seating, how many's allocated, and what is still left to do. There's quick prompts here for drag guests, drag the table centers, and control. To confirm on this one, you can actually move the tables as well. And as mentioned, it's possible to resize the tables to position or size you prefer. Moving back up to our dietary list, this creates obviously the menu choices to the side and then gives a full list of what table the guest is seated at, their menu choices, and any dietary or allergy requirements. Note, serious allergies are always highlighted in bold at the top of the list to make it easy for the venue or the caterer to establish who has what requirements. We're able to print our dietary list as a handover pack. And export the dietary list as a CSV. The final option in the seating plan is our actual print pack. This is where we can fine-tune the details that we would like. So at present, looking at the seating plan, we have the dietary flag showing. We're able to hide those if we want to, or turn them back on. We can print the dietary list as shown, We can print the meal choices as shown. And we can print our seating plan. This gives a list of persons by table. And then we can print our seating layout or table layout. Okay, because I've increased the size of the tables, it's jumped to the next page, but I can just fit that to one page. As you can see, the guests are highlighted. I have a little bit bold on there at the moment. And that is the overview of the wedding seating planner. If you have any problems or need support, please email hello@vowandvine.app. Thank you.